She collapsed at his feet without warning, right there in the quiet hospital corridor, as if the weight of her entire life had finally become too heavy to carry. One moment she was standing, pale and trembling, the next she was falling, and in that single, terrifying second, drive. Ethan Cole felt something inside him crack open that he had sealed shut years ago. Before the story unfolds any further, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel if you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet miracles that change lives, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from, because stories like this connect hearts across the world. Ethan had grown used to emergencies, but this one felt different from the start. As a single dad and an doctor, his life was built on exhaustion, responsibility, and a kind of emotional restraint that helped him survive long shifts and lonely nights after his daughter fell asleep. His wife had died 4 years earlier, leaving him with a small child, a mountain of grief, and a promise he made at her grave to never let his pain interfere with the care of others. That promise shaped him into a man who fixed what he could and endured what he could not. So when the woman fainted, he reacted on instinct, catching her before her head hit the floor, carrying her into an exam room with steady hands that hid the familiar ache in his chest. Her name was Lily Harper, and even unconscious she looked like someone who had been fighting for far too long. There were dark shadows beneath her eyes, her clothes were neat but worn, and her fingers were rough, as if life had not been gentle with her. When she came to, her confusion turned quickly into embarrassment and fear, and though Ethan kept his expression calm, something about her vulnerability stirred memories he tried hard to ignore. He ran tests, asked questions, and pieced together a picture of a woman who skipped meals so her younger brother could eat, who worked 2 jobs while caring for a sick mother, and who had ignored her own health until her body finally forced her to stop. Days later, when she returned for follow-up tests, the walls between doctor and patient began to thin in ways Ethan did not expect. Lily carried herself with quiet dignity, but there was sadness in her posture, a kind of apology written into every movement. She thanked him too much, as if kindness was something she was not used to receiving freely. Ethan, who had learned to keep his heart guarded, found himself lingering longer during her appointments, noticing how she smiled even when she was scared, how she tried to make light of her situation so others would not worry. The real turning point came not with her diagnosis, which turned out to be severe exhaustion and untreated anemia, but with what she admitted after she recovered enough to sit up and meet his eyes without fear. She confessed, in a voice heavy with shame and honesty, that she had once dreamed of becoming a nurse but had given it up after her father abandoned the family, leaving her to become the responsible one too soon. She admitted that fainting in the hospital had terrified her not because she thought she might die, but because she realized no one would be there to catch her if she did. That admission landed in Ethan's chest like a quiet explosion, because it mirrored his own life more closely than he wanted to admit. Ethan went home that night and watched his daughter sleep, her small hand curled around the stuffed bear her mother had given her. He realized how carefully he had built his life to avoid needing anyone, how he had convinced himself that being strong meant being alone. Lily's words echoed in his mind, reminding him of the nights he had collapsed onto the couch after putting his daughter to bed, wishing someone would ask if he was okay, even though he would never have admitted it out loud. As weeks passed, their lives began to overlap in unexpected ways. Lily followed her treatment plan diligently, slowly regaining her strength, and Ethan found himself rooting for her progress with an intensity that surprised him. He encouraged her to revisit her dream of nursing, helping her find resources and programs she could manage while working. In doing so, he felt something within himself begin to heal, as if by helping her reclaim a future, he was giving himself permission to imagine one too. Outside the hospital, life continued to test them both. Lily's mother's health declined before it improved, and Ethan faced a scare when his daughter fell ill one night, reminding him how fragile everything truly was. Through these struggles, they supported each other not with grand gestures, but with presence, understanding, and the rare comfort of being seen. Ethan began to smile more, to feel lighter, while Lily stood a little taller, her hope no longer something she hid away to survive. The moment that changed everything came quietly, without drama or spectacle. Lily returned one afternoon, healthier and brighter than he had ever seen her, to tell him she had been accepted into a nursing program. But more than that, she admitted that fainting in front of him had saved her life in ways medicine alone could not, because it showed her that asking for help was not weakness. That truth reached deep into Ethan's soul, unlocking years of suppressed grief and loneliness. He realized that his life did not have to be defined solely by duty and loss, that his daughter deserved a father who believed in happiness again. From that point on, their bond grew into something steady and real, built on shared understanding rather than rescue or dependency. Ethan learned to let people in, to lean on others without shame, and Lily learned that her worth was not measured by how much she sacrificed. Together, they created a small, imperfect, beautiful family shaped by empathy and second chances. If this story has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment now to like, comment, and share this video, because your engagement helps stories of hope and kindness reach others who may need them. And before the ending, please write a comment about what part of this story stayed with you the most, because your words matter more than you know. In the end, Ethan often thought back to the moment Lily fainted, realizing that what